peace, friends. Our next word is purpose. P-U-R-P-O-S-E. Now, purpose is that which one sets before himself as an object to be attained. It is the end or aim to be kept in view in any plan. It is resolution, determination. So much for the definition. Now, purpose is the word that gives us the power we need to propel ourselves to our destination. It is purpose that gives the impetus. It comes to us when we release our brakes, step on the accelerator, move out into greater and more expansive realms with a feeling of lightness, gaiety, of levitation. When we are levitating high above the usual levels of earth, we get a much different perspective. We get sort of a bird's eye view of this thing called life. We have moved ourselves way up above the noise and din of the narrow, petty, and small living into the higher and loftier places, into thoughts of more about people, the people all about us, and even the people all around us on other planets. From this high vantage point, we see that the purpose of life and living is to make us realize the real, wondrous, and unlimited being that we are, that we have turned away from this infinity, and that we must now return home to that abode that was always awaiting us, always beckoning us to come back home. We see that we have been prodigal sons and daughters, that we strayed away from the rich and rightful mansion of the Lord, or law, and that now we want to do a turnabout as quickly as we possibly can to reclaim the bountiful heritage that always was ours. We see the Lord, or law with a capital L, and know that by simply living in accord with this divine law, we acquire the fastest means of returning home to our godhood. Then we see it as it was seen in the story of one of the gods, in which he made himself into a pig. He took unto himself a pig body, and then a she-pig, and then had many, many little baby pigs. And he roamed and he romped, and he wallowed in the mud with great delight. One day, one of the other gods came and saw his plight. They came to him and said, "Brother God, what are you doing in a pig body? What are you doing in a pigsty?" He said, "Go away, and do not bother me. I am very happy here, with my she-pig and all the little pigs. And look at the wonderfully soft mud I have to roll in." When the brother gods saw they could not reason with him any more, they decided to take a drastic step. They took a sharp knife and cut open his pig body. Out he jumped and exclaimed, "What a nightmare! All that time I thought I was well off and happy. Thank goodness you brought me to my senses." Friends, that is exactly what we are now doing. We have donned little pig bodies, and think ourselves to be pigs, limited to a world of sense satisfaction that gives us only a tiny, tiny part of the unlimited joys that are ours for the mere seeing it and taking it. Think of it. We are giving up untold joys beyond joys, only to partake of pathetically small, limited, and non-satiable pleasures. Is there anyone here who can say that he or she has had pleasure to the point where he or she is now totally satiated, satisfied? I doubt it. You will never find the joy that satiates in your present attempts to find it in the sense world. No, we must let go, rise above it, get our heads above the clouds to see the vast new horizons. And when we do, we see the purpose. We take off the blinds. We take off the closures on our minds, and we see the purpose. And from then on, friends, we are impatient to return to the unlimited expressions of joy, those that are rightly ours by our very nature of being the Godhood that we are seeking. Now, the power behind the purpose is the wisdom that is expressed by the law, and it is intensified by the responsibility and the freedom of which you use it under. I'll repeat that. The power behind the purpose is the wisdom that is expressed by the law, and it is intensified by the responsibility and the freedom of which you use it under. This means we are as successful as we live by the divine law, receiving its wisdom and expressing it. And the more we take this responsibility, the more it works for us. But we must put it into action. We must take on the purpose, the power, the responsibility. We must learn the law, and we must use it and live by it. Every time we do not, every time we break the law, we are rudely reminded of it by what we call a problem, a sickness, a difficulty. Any of these obstacles are merely blocks or bars that we put in our way. They should serve as reminders to us to wake up, to break the bar, to live in accord with the law. In this way, we get in tune with the divine, in time and in step with the law. We get into what is called harmony, harmony of life. It is living in accord with the law that gives us a harmonious life. So, friends, release your brakes, accelerate, expand, levitate, and see your purpose, and propel yourself to the Godhood that is yours. I will close with a poem entitled The Power and Purpose of God. Choose this day whom ye will serve. Cast out wrong thoughts that bind, feelings and thoughts that are unlike God. Make a channel for God of your mind. The capacity of the instrument through which the power must flow controls the amount of power received, intake, and resultant outgo. If a boiler built only to handle a 50-pound pressure load were forced up to 500 pounds, it would probably explode. So with humans, formed to be channels for the power of God on earth, those with channels corroded by hate and fear have always, indeed, a power dearth. Only a trickle of life can flow through channels weakened by wrong, but the power of God is mighty in those whom purity has made them strong. The power of God is mighty and is the only reality. Choose this day whom ye will serve. Let the power of God set you free.